Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. For the new subscribers, thank you very much for your continued support. And if you're new here, my name is Mercy, and we are all about cleaning, organizing, cooking. Every now and then we have special segments, and on this particular video it's just an update of how far we have come with my home uplift as we are coming close to the holidays, and I'm loving how it's going. So the last time we saw my outside, the septic tanks were not well covered, but they had put something on it. And so as you can see, this guy here is covering up the septic. It turned up so well. Like, I love even how they made the drainage works so well. And that was one of the major reasons why I felt the need to do something about my laundry area, because water was constantly flooding anywhere and I had to sweep it off. If you have seen my previous video of me doing laundry, I really had to keep sweeping the water to direct it into the outlet direction, but now the water really flows. And as we were making this outside, we were just under a rainy season, so every now and then we had to stop, and it took us a longer time to make it than normal. But we thank God that this is the end result. Of course, now we are just waiting for the rains to stop so that I can be able to paint. You remember we were painting my house, and this is how it looked. And so at this point, painting wasn't done. Like, they were still continuing to paint, but the thing is, as they were still continuing to paint, I felt the need to do something so that the work will not be too much on me. And I decided to do all the dishes in my house. So I was cleaning and just washing, and I decided to do something about especially the drawers, so that I can put back some of the things that I had put out. So that is what I'm doing here. So I cleaned first with clean and soapy water, then I later on cleaned with water that had with warm water with vinegar, and it turned up well. And I was able to return some of my dishes and some of my pantry items. I was able to return them, but on this video you won't see the end result of the kitchen because the work was still ongoing. I was just trying to declutter, so when they are done, the work will not be so much on me. But I will show you until where we were able to do it. So karibu sana, enjoy, like, share, comment, tell a friend to tell a friend. And if you have not subscribed, kindly consider to subscribe, and let's enjoy it together. As you can see, guys, I am done with arranging most of the dishes that I had washed, but I also felt the guy painting on the windows paint was affecting me, so I had to move out of the kitchen. This other guy was painting my front, like my TV area, with this looks like yellow, but actually it's not yellow, it's called ginger. And then the next day we were expecting this guy to come and fix for us the new TV, and that was our we did a TV upgrade, so he was just making sure everything will fall into place, and I think he did an amazing job. The TV fit so well, and it was, you know, he's very good at his job. That's all I can say. So continue enjoying. Guys, we have come to the end of another video. I enjoyed your company. So the TV was set up, it was up and running, and we decided to spend the night watching a movie. It was a movie night just to enjoy our new TV. Till I see you next time, remember to subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. Bye bye. God bless.